There is a quiet ache that many of us carry right now, a sense that we're walking through a rehearsed reality. We spend our days caught in a blizzard of digital noise. We are chronically overstimulated and yet spiritually undernourished. When we feel this bone-deep exhaustion or the pressure of mounting debt, the culture offers a convenient explanation. It suggests that these struggles are personal failures, a lack of individual merit, or an inability to hustle hard enough. But the unraveling of modern America is not an accidental byproduct of a busy world. It is a meticulously designed architecture. This exhaustion serves a purpose. It creates a population that is too tired, too poor, and too confused to look up and see the bars of the cage. Waking up begins with a single realization. Your collective burnout is a manufactured system of control, not a flaw in your character. This chart illustrates the first layer of the machine, the money trap. It compares the trajectory of stagnant wages against the sharply inflating costs of housing, healthcare, and education. This widening gap transforms the economy into a form of warfare, keeping citizens locked in a permanent chase for basic survival. Predatory rent and high-interest debt function as the energy drains of this system. They siphon off the cognitive energy and time required to organize or protest. When every waking hour is dedicated to avoiding financial collapse, resistance becomes a luxury few can afford. Control then extends from the wallet to the body itself. We see this in the legislation of physical sovereignty, where state power is used to dictate the boundaries of individual autonomy. This system reveals its true intent through a glaring contradiction. It criminalizes reproductive choice while simultaneously slashing the social safety nets that sustain human life. It mandates birth, then provides no path for housing, healthcare, or food security. A nation that demands birth but refuses to support the life that follows is prioritizing state power over human morality. To protect these economic and physical traps, the system must degrade the public's ability to question authority. It requires a population that is underbaked, disconnected from its own history and critical faculties. This cognitive war manifests in the defunding of higher education and the banning of books. These efforts aim to erase the context required to understand the present. Even the push to abolish national education standards serves to ensure that the public remains easier to mold and control. Children suffer the most immediate impact of this dismantling. In a climate of fear, students are taught compliance and survival rather than curiosity. Vulnerable and neurodiverse kids are often written off by a system that values obedience over potential. This creates a cycle of dependency. A public that cannot read the laws that bind them or interpret the history that shaped them will inevitably follow the loudest voice in the room. Getting an exhausted public to cheer for their own subjugation requires a specific kind of theater. It requires the manufacture of consent through the illusion of a strongman. Donald Trump serves as a primary case study for media mythmaking. Long before he entered politics, a decade of primetime reality television crafted a fictional brand, the decisive, no-nonsense billionaire boss. This prepackaged familiarity became the foundation for political trust. The resulting presidency functioned as an extension of the brand, prioritizing media spectacle and personal loyalty over factual accuracy or public service. This leadership model thrives by weaponizing the suffering of others. It uses the pain of the marginalized, whether they are veterans on the street or families at the border, as a tool to incite fear and distract the public from the systems actually responsible for their hardship. This idolization of power exists alongside a starkly divided justice system. An elite felon can pursue the presidency, while millions of ordinary citizens are stripped of their rights and housing for far lesser offenses. The allure of authoritarianism is a trauma response. It is the natural craving for certainty by a public that has been intentionally worn down by manufactured chaos. Once you witness the mechanics of the machine, the illusion of the fog begins to fail. You recognize that the architecture of control relies entirely on your continued participation in the chaos. Your first line of defense is discernment. In a world of deepfakes and AI gaslighting, truth is a revolutionary act. Discernment means looking past the outrage of the headline to ask, who benefits from my fear? Reclaiming your energy is the next step in dismantling the system. The machine runs on your attention. Every minute spent doom-scrolling or reacting to manufactured outrage is energy siphoned away from your own sovereignty. By intentionally rejecting the algorithm, you starve the system of its fuel. We rewire society by creating sacred circles, small, localized communities of mutual support. By putting your resources and your voice behind ethical creators and local networks, you begin to build an alternative to the exploitative systems currently in place. True sovereignty is the refusal to stay isolated. When we stop accepting the rehearsed lines of the movie and start trusting our own observations, the architecture of control crumbles.